Who am I? What I'm going to be remembered for? These were the questions I've been trying to answer for quite some time now, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Rajasekar Narayanan. As a kid, I've been always cursed with neighbors who study well than me. So I've been in this always being compared. And my mom and dad was not happy with the way I was studying. My scores weren't decent enough. Of course, my neighbors were studying more, so I was always being compared with them. But I can relate it now. I can able to connect the dots when I look backward, because my mom and dad sacrificed everything they had in their life. My dad has an own auto body shop, and he works day and night in order to make sure that me and my younger brother are getting educated. So it made sense now, but when I was there, all I wanted was to eat and sleep, and of course play. So my grades are not quite enough. I had a nice childhood. Did played well. I did scored a good marks until at some point of time I realized that I've been bullied a lot. I didn't realize it when I was there. I was wondering, what is making me as a soft target for the bullies? I was always had this question for me. But this phase in my life made me to realize that what is making them to bully? What is happening in their life in order to make sure that they are reacting in such a way to it? Of course, I had a lot of invectives in my life, but that was I couldn't understand at that point of time. I could able to make it out now, but back then it affected me internally. I became a strong person outside. I made sure that I look stronger. I look rugged outside, but inside I was so inferior. But I then realized that I had this warrior in me, whereas every time someone tries to pin me down, I come back stronger. I stand up stronger. That's where I realized that, okay, I'm a warrior inside. It's okay to be bullied. It's okay to be abused. It's fine. It's okay. It's part of your deal. It's part of a life. And then I had this wonderful teacher in my life. I still remember the day I was scoring 8 marks out of 100. I couldn't able to walk back home. I could remember every step I was taking back to home. I could still remember it because I know my mom and dad won't be happy. Of course, they weren't happy, and I had a tough night, but that's okay. So when I came back to school next day, this teacher, her name is Pushpa Kalambal, I still remember her name. She was this wonderful teacher, and she sat with me and said, "Guys, I know you're a good student. What's happening with you? What's affecting you? What's wrong? What's bad going on at home? Is it everything fine at home? Is it everything fine at school?" And then she kind of sat with me and she taught me mathematics the way I can understand it. And in a couple of years, I was a school topper. I mean, this journey wasn't an easy journey at all, but this journey had made a big impact in my life. It made me to realize that I am capable of doing something. I am capable of doing something. Until then, I wasn't. Of course, I still have the fears inside, but that journey made a big impact in my life. And then there was no looking back in my studies. I scored good scores, and it was in my high school, and of course I want attention from girls. So I went into sports. I was a good athlete as well. I kind of take pride in my physical attributes. So I went into sports. I did achieve a few things. I was a divisional athlete, gold medalist in 110-meter hurdles, and then I moved on to different levels. But then that wasn't enough for my engineering college to give me a seat. Of course, they were looking for money, and we did not have any assets. And this was a quite interesting phase in my life, because I was thinking that I'm going to give my engineering, because of course that was the only thing my dad and mom wanted, because they were looking for monetary freedom at that point of time. And this was the phase my dad fell sick and he couldn't able to continue his job as well. So all of a sudden at the age of 17, I became the breadwinner of the family. And it wasn't easy to handle, and it was easy to take on the life the way it was. And then I did jobs, whatever came in across me. I did every job which you can imagine, which you cannot imagine as well. From call center to cleaning streets, selling foods at the streets. I did everything. But kind of, when I look back, I kind of able to pick everything which I learned from there, and I could able to use it in the job which I'm doing right now. And then all of a sudden, my dad's friend, who just came from Dubai, of course he had good bank balance, and he gave me a small recommendation letter to the bank, and of course I got my education loan. And all of a sudden, I came into my college, my engineering college. I took on electrical and electronics engineering because I was curious in physics, and because of my physics teacher. He was inspiring. His name is A. Sivakumar. And then what this phase of life made me realize is to understand the value of each and every opportunities which came along with me. I know the worth and value of each and every every opportunities which came along. I did not miss anything. My technical paper was presented in close to 30 different universities. I was invited across India. I traveled across India to different universities to present my technical papers. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, this was the story which I think. This particular person who was just reading his morning newspaper realized that his face was there presented in his obituary column. And he was wondering, why is my face printed in the obituary column? And he was reading about it, and it said, merchant of evil, merchant of death has died, he's no more. And then he called the newspaper back, and he realized that instead of his friends, they put him his picture. So he called him back, and then he said, got his composure back and said, okay, let's say I'm dead. How I am going to be remembered? What I am going to be remembered for? This story changed my life. And for the Toastmasters and guests, how are you going to be remembered? Thank you.